Okay, I'm going to start with the chapter. Now, as you know, we started this chapter on 15th of August, very important day in the history of India. Can you just tell me what is the relevance of this chapter? Can anyone just tell me what is the relevance of this chapter in the context of our independence, India's independence? Yes, Malvika?
Chapter is related to the how the Indians fight for the independence of the country, and this is taken from the book that is the life of Mahatma Gandhi, and it talks about how Mahatma Gandhi played an important role in the independence of the country.
It's very good. How he
So
played an important role by using non-violent ways. Okay, so this is very important. And of the chapter, the theme of the chapter. What could be the theme of the chapter? Anybody else apart from Malvika? Anybody else? What could be the theme of the chapter? What is the chapter all about? Can you tell me? Okay, Malvika.
talks about the role of Gandhiji, how Gandhiji helped the sharecroppers of Champaran, and how he fought for the benefit or for the survival or
Malvika. So we talk about in this chapter we talk about the leadership that is shown by Mahatma Gandhi in order to provide justice to the poor sharecroppers of Champaran, the oppressed class of society. And how did he provide justice through through non-violent ways, through convincing argumentation, through negotiation, and this we are going to read in the chapter today also. Can you just summarize the part that we covered the other day before yesterday? Can you just Vishwajit, just summarize the part that we did the other day.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So, ma'am, basically the chapter about ma'am indigo. Basically, it's about indigo planters. That how indigo planters were, farmers were suffering from the discrimination or from the discrimination which were done by the or operation which was done by the Britishers at the time. Means before independence. So, when a person came to Gandhiji, a person came to Gandhiji, and he was a small peasant he was a small peasant. So he came to Gandhiji for asking for help. His name was Rajkumar Shukla, and
Yes.
he came to Gandhiji that to ask for help. So and also he always moved around Gandhiji wherever he go. He went with him, and he always followed him. So at that time, means they were like they were facing a lot of oppression. So he told then Gandhiji went to Champaran and basically heard whatever the problems they faced. So after that, ma'am, he also consulted the lawyers which were there in the courts, and the
Okay,
lawyers also asked him.
hold on. He consulted the lawyers. The lawyers had assembled when Gandhiji reached there. The lawyers had assembled to greet him. Why did Gandhiji scold the lawyers? What was the
Ma'am,
reason? Yes.
yeah, ma'am. So Gandhiji scolded the lawyers because, ma'am, they were charging a lot of fees from a lot of fees, and they were basically putting extra pressure on the peasants. So that is why he scolded the lawyers.
And why did he feel? Somebody else is going to answer now. Why did he feel that going to law courts was useless? Why did Gandhiji feel that going to law courts was useless? They had been lawyers had been representing the case of farmers in the law courts, but he felt that they should not pay fees, and they should not the farmers should not pay fees, and in fact the lawyers should not charge such huge amount of fees from the farmers. And in fact, he said that going to law courts is entirely useless. Why?
Gandhiji said that going to law courts was useless because the people's fear was not finished by going to the law court
Law courts. Yes.
law courts, and main aim of Gandhiji was to make people free from fear, and
Yes,
this was not
that was
achieved
the
by going to
priority.
law.
Yes, very good. That was the priority. Uh, making the people free from the fear of the Britishers, and he felt that even if they go to law courts, they pay such huge amount of fees, and the cases are never solved, and most importantly, they never become free from the fear of the. They always dread the might of the Britishers. They are always afraid of them. They are always frightened of them. Okay, so and then he was asked. The British officials, they never agreed to disclose anything to Gandhiji because they felt that he was an outsider, and they even asked him to return back, but he refused to do so. And and then what happened? He was asked to appear in the courts. He was given summons, and the day he was the previous night, the night before that, he remained awake, and he sent a telegram to the ashram also that in case he's arrested, how they should proceed, and he also asked prominent people to come there. The next day, when the day he was to appear in the court, a huge gathering was there. There were thousands of people, thousands of farmers and people had gathered there, and the British officials, the government was baffled. So this is from where we have to continue. Let me just share the next one. Just read out the lines. I'll explain. Read out the lines. Malvika, just read it out.
The government was baffled. The
Yes.
prosecutor requested the judge to postpone the trial. Apparently, the authorities wished to consult their superiors. Gandhiji protested against the delay. He read the statement pleading guilty. He was involved. He told the court he told the court in a conflict of duties. On the one hand, to set a bad example as a lawbreaker, on the other hand, to render the humanitarian and national service for which he had came. He regarded
Disregarded.
to leave not for the want of respect for lawful authorities, but in obedience to the higher law of our being, the voice of consciences. He asked the pleading
Channel Q. Okay, hold on. The government was baffled. Why was the government confused? Why was the government baffled? Why was the government baffled?
Ma'am, by seeing a huge mob.
Yes, because a huge mob had gathered in the day Gandhiji was to appear in court. So the government could not control that mob, the huge gathering. So they got confused. They didn't know what to do. The prosecutor requested the judge to postpone the trial. So they said that the trial for which Gandhiji had come there, they should postpone it. Apparently, what do you mean by apparently? Obviously,
Really?
the authorities wish to consult their superiors because the things had gone out of their hands. They didn't know how to manage them, so they felt that they should consult their superiors. Gandhi protested against the delay. He read a statement against the delay. He read a statement pleading guilty. He was involved, he told the court, in a conflict of duties, on the one hand, not to set a bad example as a lawbreaker, on the other hand, to render the humanitarian and national service for which he had come. Can anyone just explain these lines? What was the conflict of duties? He pleaded guilty, and he said there was a conflict of duties that was going on in his mind. What was that conflict? Yes, Vishwajit. What was the conflict?
Conflict was that means first was that if means a bad example of a lawbreaker, like वो मैम like उसको लोग सारे बहुत सारे follow करते थे. So मैम if he did something wrong, so and he break the law, so it would be a bad example for the people that Gandhiji break the law. And on other hand, it was to set a humanitarian and national service. मतलब उनको मैम जरूरी भी था ये करना.
He zaruri kyun tha? Because he said that on the on humanitarian ground he had come there to help the people. He could not tolerate the injustice that was being going on in the life of the poor sharecroppers. So that was the conflict that was going on in his mind. He did not want to break the law, but he was involved in that. He didn't want to because he was asked to go back, but he didn't go. But he said that he was there on to provide national service. He was there for the people of his country, for the poor farmers of his country. So therefore, he said that this is the conflict that is going on in my mind. So he disregarded the order to leave. He said, I will not leave, not for want of respect for lawful authority. It was not that he didn't have respect for the law, but in obedience to the higher law of our being. And what is that higher law? The voice of your conscience. Okay, he asked the penalty due. He said, whatever judgment is to be pronounced against me, you need to pronounce it because I am pleading guilty. I have broken the law, but it is not because I disobey or disregard the law, but I am obeying the voice of my conscience. I want to help the people out here, and that is why I have come here. Okay. So next line says, the magistrate announced that he would pronounce sentence after a 2-hour recess and asked Gandhi to furnish bail for those 120 minutes. He said, we are going to take a break for 2 hours, and in these 2 hours, what you can do is you can procure bail for yourself. कि अपने लिए bail arrange कर लो. Gandhi refused. The judge released him without bail. So when Gandhiji refused, he said, I'm not going to arrange for any bail for myself. You announce whatever punishment is due for me. So he was released without bail. Okay, this is the first time in history that such a thing happened without arranging bail, without doing anything. He was released. Okay. Paragraph of page number 50. When the court reconvened. What do you mean by reconvened? When the court reconvened. Reconvened का क्या मतलब होता है बच्चे?
Met again, ma'am.
Yes.
Court
After the when the court started again after the recess, after the 2 hours break, the judge said he would not deliver the judgment for several days. Meanwhile, he allowed Gandhi to remain at liberty. He said the case has been postponed and we don't know till how long. So and he was allowed to remain at he was allowed to roam freely to remain there and move out freely. Rajendra Prasad, Brij Kishore Babu, Maulana Mazharul Haq, and several other prominent lawyers had arrived from Bihar. They conferred with Gandhi what would they do if he was sentenced to prison. You know, they held a meeting with Gandhi and they discussed everything with Gandhiji, and they said what are they going to do if Gandhiji, if whenever the punishment is whenever the judge decides to give punishment to Gandhiji, and if he is sentenced to prison, what would they do? Gandhi asked then. Why? The senior lawyer replied, they had come to advise and help him. If he went to jail, there would be nobody to advise and they would go. उन्होंने क्या बोला कि हम यहाँ पे किस लिए आए हैं? हम तो सिर्फ गांधी जी को एडवाइस देने के लिए आए हैं. अगर उनको जेल हो जाएगी तो हम किसको एडवाइस करेंगे? हमारा तो काम सिर्फ एडवाइस देना है, तो हम वापस चले जाएंगे. What about the injustice to the sharecroppers? Gandhi demanded. The lawyers withdrew to consult. ठीक है, वो कहते हैं कि आप मेरे लिए तो आए हो, मुझे एडवाइस करने तो आए हो, मगर जो शेयर क्रॉपर्स के साथ इंजस्टिस हो रहा है, जो इतनी देर से उनके साथ अन्याय हो रहा है, उसका क्या? So they held discussion among themselves. Rajendra Prasad, who was then a lawyer, but later on he became the president of the first president of Free India. He has recorded the upshot of their consultations. You know, whatever they consulted, he has a recording of that, and he shared it later on. They thought amongst themselves that Gandhi was totally a stranger, and yet he was prepared to go to prison for the sake of the peasants. If they, on the other hand, being not only residents of the adjoining districts, but also those who claimed to have served these peasants, should go home, it would be shameful desertion. Can anyone just explain these lines? क्या मतलब है इसका बच्चे? बोलो. What do you mean by these lines? Can anyone just explain? What did they consult, and what was the result of those consultations?
Ma'am, yes, ma'am, Gandhiji was a stranger, but still he was helping the peasants. And the Prasad was a resident of Bihar. So, being a resident, his responsibilities towards his state is more. So,
Not only
He's saying
Rajendra
that
Prasad, not only Rajendra Prasad, we are not just talking about Rajendra Prasad, we're talking about all the lawyers who had gathered there. And when they said that if Gandhiji would be sentenced to prison, there would be nobody to give advice to, so they would go back. So after this, when Gandhiji intervened and he asked about what about the injustice to the sharecroppers, they consulted, and the result of the consultations was that they then later on thought amongst themselves that Gandhiji had nothing to do with the, he was not born there, he was not from that state, not from that district, but still he was a total stranger to Bihar, to Champaran, but yet he was prepared to go to jail for the sake of the farmers. But why should they not leave the farmers like that? Because they were not only the inhabitants of the nearby districts, but also they had represented the peasants, they had taken fees from them, and they had represented these peasants in courts earlier. So if they would leave the peasants, if they would leave the farmers like that, in without the solution to this problem, then it would be shameful desertion. What do you mean by desertion? You desert somebody, you leave somebody. That is desertion. You abandon something, okay, somebody or something. They accordingly went back to after the consultation. They went back to him and told him they were ready to follow him into jail. कहते अगर आपको जेल होगी तो हम भी आपके साथ साथ कोर्ट अरेस्ट करेंगे. We would also go to jail with you. The battle of Champaran is won. He exclaimed. This is what Gandhiji said. Now, because you're ready to follow me to jail, because you're ready to fight for the injustice that is being done to the poor sharecroppers, the battle of Champaran is already, we are victorious, it is already won. Then he took a piece of paper and divided the group into pairs and put down the order in which each pair was to court arrest. ठीक है, उन्होंने पेपर लिया और उन्होंने ऑर्डर बता दिया कि पहले मैं जेल जाऊंगा, उसके बाद ये पेयर जाएगा, फिर ये पेयर, मतलब इस तरह से सारे कहाँ जाएंगे, मेरे पीछे पीछे जेल में कोर्ट अरेस्ट करेंगे, कोर्ट अरेस्ट करके जेल जाएंगे. ठीक है, नेक्स्ट पेज. Okay, this is the question. The events in this part of the text illustrate Gandhi's method of working. Can you identify some instances of this method and link them to his ideas of satyagraha and non-violence? Whatever part we've covered so far, the events that talk about his method of working. What was his method of working? Can you find out some instances of the method? I have only one student in the class of 46 participants who is responding every time, and the others, only Abhay and Vishwaji, that are also there. But what about the rest of the class? बाकी क्यों नहीं जवाब देते हो बेटा? आप पढ़ नहीं रहे हो क्या? हाँ जी मालविका बोलो.
Gandhiji used to do work on the basis of non-violence, and the basic instances is one of can be Dandi March, in which he followed non-violent methods to break the salt law.
Yes, yes, Harmanpreet Singh, you want to say something? Harmanpreet, number 61.
Yes, ma'am.
हाँ बोलो.
Ma'am,
हाँ बोलो.
and the Gandhian strategy is a combination of truth, sacrifice, non-violence, and selfless service and cooperation.
Very good. His strategy was truth, non-violence. My voice is going.
And selfless service and cooperation.
Yes, selfless service and cooperation. So this is what his strategy was, and he linked all these things in his, fight for justice for the people of Champaran, and later on for his freedom struggle for freedom of the country. Several days later, Gandhi received a written communication from the magistrate informing him that the lieutenant governor of the province had ordered the case to be dropped. So this was the first time that initially he was released without procuring bail, and now the case had been dropped. So civil disobedience had triumphed. The first time in modern India. This was the first case when civil disobedience had become victorious. What is civil disobedience? What is civil disobedience?
Civil disobedience was basically that to not to obey and basically break laws that the British government made.
Yes. So he had broken the law. What was the law that he had broken? Just mute yourself. The law that he had. Yes, Arya Jindal, you can go. The law that he had broken was he was asked to leave Champaran. He was asked to leave the district and go back, but he didn't do so. He refused to obey the law, and still he was released. First of all, without bail, and then the case was totally dropped against him. So this is the first time that civil disobedience had become victorious. Gandhi and the lawyers now proceeded to conduct a far-flung inquiry into the grievances of the farmers. What do you mean by grievances? Grievances क्या होता है बच्चे? Very simple word. उनकी क्या complaints थी, ठीक है? क्या उनकी problems थी? They conducted a far-flung inquiry into that. Depositions by about 10,000 peasants were written down, and notes made on other evidence. Documents were collected. Documents उन्होंने collect करे, farmers से लिखवाया क्या-क्या problems थी, लिखी problems. The whole area throbbed with the activity of the investigators. So the whole area became live with the kind of activity that was going on by the investigators and the vehement protest of the landlords. What do you mean by vehement? What is vehement protest?
Intense.
Intense
Forceful.
protest. Yes, forceful, intense protest by the landlords. In June, Gandhi was summoned to Sir Edward Gate, the Lieutenant Governor. Before he went, he met leading associates and again laid detailed plans for civil disobedience if he should not have done. अब उनको जब फिर से समन भेजे गए तो उन्होंने बोला अगर मैं वापस नहीं आऊंगा तो उन्होंने पूरा प्लान बना दिया कि आपने क्या क्या करना है. Gandhi had 4 protracted interviews with the lieutenant. So, the next page. So he had 4 protracted interviews with the lieutenant governor, who, as a result, appointed an official commission of inquiry into the indigo sharecropper situation. उन्होंने बोला कि हम एक इंक्वायरी के लिए कमीशन बिठा देते हैं और प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करने की कोशिश करेंगे. ठीक है. The commission consisted of, and this official commission consisted of landlords, government officials, and Gandhi as the sole representative of the farmers. From the farmer side, who had come to represent them? Only Gandhiji. He was there to represent them. Gandhi remained in Champaran for an initial uninterrupted period of 7 months and then again for several shorter visits. ठीक है. पहले तो वो लगातार 7 महीने तक चंपारण में रहे. ठीक है. उसके बाद में भी छोटे छोटे उन्होंने विजिट्स वहां पे किए. The visit undertaken casually on the entreaty of an unlettered peasant in the expectation that it would last a few days occupied almost a year of Gandhi's life. ये visit कैसे हुई थी उनकी चंपारण में? Because of the request of an unlettered and illiterate peasant. एक अनपढ़ peasant, एक farmer उनके पास आया और उन्होंने request की कि हमें ऐसे ऐसे प्रॉब्लम हो रही है, हमारे साथ चलो. और उन्होंने सोचा था कि इसको कितने दिन लगेंगे, थोड़े से दिन लगेंगे, but it occupied almost a year of his life. The official inquiry assembled a crushing mountain of evidence against the big planters. कौन है ये mountain of evidence? किसके against पाया गया? Against whom? Yes, speak up, Malvika, बोलो.
Big planters, ma'am.
Big planters कौन है? Who are the big planters? The landlords, the British landlords. And when they saw this, they agreed in principle to make refunds to them. जब ऑफिशियल कमीशन बिठाया गया और उसमें सब लोग इन्वॉल्व थे, ठीक है, तो उन्होंने देखा कि सच्ची में बहुत हमने when the truth had been revealed and everything was there in front of everybody, so they felt that they should
Landlords.
so they felt that they have to make refunds to the farmers. But how much must we pay? They asked Gandhi. Because Gandhi was the sole representative of the farmers, so they asked him कि कितना amount हमें pay करना है. They thought he would demand repayment in full of the money which they had illegally and deceitfully extorted from the sharecroppers. उन्होंने सोचा कि गांधी जी 100% पेमेंट मांगेंगे, रिफंड मांगेंगे, क्योंकि उन्होंने जो ये पेमेंट ली थी उनसे वो इलीगल भी थी और धोखे से ली गई, and they had extorted it from the sharecroppers. But he said he didn't ask for 100% refund. He asked only 50%. There he seemed adamant. Adamant, what do you mean by adamant? What is adamant? There he seemed adamant. What is adamant? Stubborn. जिद, वहां पर उन्होंने जिद अपनी पकड़ ली कि 50% तो रिफंड आपको करना ही पड़ेगा. Writes Reverend J.S. Hodge, a British missionary in Champaran who observed the entire episode at close range. ये इन्होंने लिखा है, इन्होंने बताया कि गांधी जी was adamant he wanted 50% refund. Thinking probably that he would not give way, the representative of the planters offered to refund to the extent of 25%. उनको लगा कि गांधी जी मानेंगे नहीं प्लांटर्स को, जो बिग प्लांटर्स का रिप्रेजेंटेटिव था उनको लगा कि गांधी जी तो मानेंगे नहीं 50% से कम में, तो फिर हम भी अड़े रहेंगे. तो उन्होंने बोला कि हम कितना रिफंड करेंगे, वी वुड रिफंड ओनली 25%. And to his amazement, Mr. Gandhi took him at his word, thus breaking the deadlock. Underline this. He was totally surprised because Gandhiji agreed to get a refund of only 25%, and thus the deadlock was broken. This settlement was adopted unanimously by the commission. Gandhi explained, underline this line also, Gandhi explained that the amount of the refund was less important than the fact that the landlords had been obliged, that the landlords had been obliged to surrender part of the money and with it part of their prestige. So this was more important. They had not even given, they had not only given money, they had not only surrendered a part of the money, but they had given, along with money, they had given a part of their prestige, and money was obviously there. Therefore, as far as the peasants were concerned, the planters had behaved as lords above the law. So till then, how had the big planters behaved? As if they were above the law. Now the peasant saw that he had rights and he had defenders. So this was the first time in the history that poor farmers realized this point, that they also had rights and they also had people who could defend them, who could fight for them. And this was the first time that the farmers learned courage and they became free from the fear of the big planters, the British landlords, the oppressor. He learned courage. Who is he here? He कौन है बेटा यहाँ पे? Who is he here?
Indigo planters.
Indigo plant, the farmers, the peasants. Okay. Events justified Gandhi's position within a few years. और जो गांधी ने stand लिया कि हम ठीक है 25% ही refund लेंगे, because he didn't want money. The money was not a priority. The priority was freedom from fear of the British landlords by the farmers. So events justified Gandhi's position. Within a few years, the British planters abandoned their estates, which reverted to the peasants. और सच्ची में ऐसा ही हुआ. कुछ सालों के बाद जो planters थे, the big landlords, the big planters, they left there. They just discarded their estates, and the estates they reverted to the peasants. The estates fell in the hands of the peasants. Indigo sharecropping disappeared. It was at that point of time, because of the efforts of Gandhiji, because of his non-violent ways, that indigo sharecropping vanished. Gandhi never contented himself with large political or economic solutions. He saw the cultural and social backwardness in the Champaran villages. उन्होंने बोला कि political economic solutions ही नहीं सिर्फ हमें focus करना है. He was concerned about, because he stayed there for almost a year, so he was concerned about the cultural and social backwardness of Champaran villages, and he wanted to do something about it immediately. उन्होंने बोला मुझे जल्दी से जल्दी इनकी social backwardness को भी दूर करना है और cultural backwardness को. He appealed for teachers, Mahadev Desai and Narhari Parekh, two young men who had just joined Gandhi as disciples, and their wives volunteered for the work. ठीक है, कुछ voluntary teachers आए जो गांधी जी के disciples बने थे, वहाँ पे आके उन्होंने लोगों के लिए काम किया. Several more came from Bombay, Pune, and other distant parts of the land. Devdas, Gandhi's youngest son, arrived from the ashram, and so did Mrs. Gandhi. Okay? Kasturbai also came there. Primary schools were opened in 6 villages. उन्होंने 6 villages में primary schools खोले. Kasturbai taught the ashram rules on personal cleanliness and community sanitation. Remember, sanitation is very important and personal cleanliness is as important. Health conditions in Champaran were miserable. So what did Gandhiji do? He got a doctor to volunteer. क्या उन्होंने एक voluntary basis पे doctor भी वहाँ पर आया. And for 6 months, 3 medicines were available. उन्होंने सबके लिए 3 medicines available करवाई. वो कौन सी medicines थी? Castor oil, quinine, and sulfur ointment. Anybody who showed a coated tongue was given a dose of castor oil. Anybody with malaria fever received quinine plus castor oil. Anybody with skin eruptions received ointment plus castor oil. So basically, these were the three important medicines that were made available for people for different health problems. Okay, and next page. Gandhi noticed the filthy state of women's clothes. Okay, बहुत गंदे कपड़े थे वहां पे लोगों के. He asked Kasturbai to talk to them about it. And one woman took Kasturbai into her hut and said, "Look, there is no box or cupboard here for clothes. The sari I am wearing is the only one I have." This was the condition of the people there. They were so poor, they were so miserable, they were lacking basic amenities of life. Why did, okay, the question that comes next is, why did Gandhi agree to a settlement of 25% refund to the farmers? And I don't want the answer from Malvika or Abhay or Vishwajit. Yes, Komal. Komal, me too.
Gandhiji agreed to the settlement of 25% refund to the farmers because for Gandhiji the amount of refund was less important than the fact that the landlords had been forced to return part of their money and with it part of their prestige too.
Yes, very good. So because he felt that this was not a money was not a priority, but the fact that was more important was that along with the money they had to surrender a part of their prestige too. How did the episode change the plight of the peasants? How did this episode change the plight, the condition of the peasants? Yes, Harmanpreet Singh?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, anybody else who can give the answer? How did the episode change the plight of the peasants? Yes, Abhay, how did it change the plight of the peasants?
Ma'am, the episode released the peasant from the fear of the British landlords
This was
and make them aware of their rights, and also they were getting back the 25% of refund.
Yes, very good. They were not only getting 25% refund, but the most important thing was this episode freed them. It made them free from the fear of the British landlords. So this was the first time that the peasants realized that they also had rights and they also had people who could defend them. They also had defenders too. During his long stay in Champaran, Gandhi kept a long distance watch on the ashram. क्योंकि वो आश्रम को जा नहीं पा रहे थे physically, तो वो long distance नजर रख रहे थे उसके ऊपर. Yeah, he sent regular instructions by mail and asked for financial accounts. आश्रम में क्या कैसे चल रहा था, financial accounts कैसे maintain किए जा रहे थे. So he would get it in the form of mail, in the form of letters. Once he wrote to the residents that it was time to fill in the old trenches and dig new ones, otherwise the old ones would begin to smell bad. तो वो सारी मतलब वहाँ पे by mail वो instructions दे रहे थे कि आश्रम में कैसे मैनेज करना है, ट्रेंचेस को फिल कर दो, तो स्मेल आनी शुरू हो जाएगी. एवरीथिंग वाज बीइंग इंस्ट्रक्शंस वर being given to the people there also in the ashram too. Okay, and the Champaran episode was a turning point in Gandhi's life. How was it a turning point? We will believe that. How did it become a turning point in Gandhi's life? He explained, "What I did was a very ordinary thing. I declared that the British could not order me in my own country." So it's a very simple thing. I made it very clear to them that I could not be ordered by the Britishers in my own country. How dare they ask me to go back? How dare they did not disclose the facts to me and called me an outsider? But Champaran did not, the meeting is going to end within 5 minutes. So, but I would be sending you questions so that the next time we meet, most probably day after tomorrow, you have to come prepared with the questions because you have to submit the questions by Thursday. Okay. But Champaran did not begin as an act of defiance. It grew out of an attempt to alleviate the distress of large numbers of poor peasants. It was not an act of defiance. It was not that he wanted to disobey the orders. He wanted to defy the Britishers. But it was an attempt to alleviate. What is alleviate? To lessen, kam karna, the distress of large numbers of poor peasants. This was the typical Gandhi pattern. What was his pattern? The politics were intertwined with the practical day-to-day problems of the millions. His politics, उनकी politics कैसी थी? It was mixed with the practical problems of the millions of people of India. His was not a loyalty to abstractions. It was a loyalty to living human beings. Can I just explain this? What do you mean by loyalty to abstractions? Abstraction क्या होता है बेटा? Abstraction is just ideas. So it was not an idealistic loyalty. कि ऐसा नहीं है कि हम ideas में ही सोच रहे हैं. It was something which was done practically. It was a loyalty to living human beings, and it was not just something which is idealistic. It was not something which is theoretical. Practically could be implemented. That was his pattern. In everything Gandhi did, moreover, he tried to mold a new free Indian who could stand on his own feet and thus make India free. So each and every Indian he wanted to make each and every Indian stand on his own feet, okay, and thus make India free. What is standing on his आत्मनिर्भर बनाना, जितना हम इतना आजकल आत्मनिर्भरता में बोल रहे हैं, तो ये आत्मनिर्भरता कहाँ से शुरू हुई है? ये गांधी जी ने शुरू करी थी. And thus make India free. Early in the Champaran action, Charles Freer Andrews, the English pacifist. Who is a pacifist? Who is a pacifist? Somebody who is against violence, who had become a devoted follower of the Mahatma, came to bid Gandhi farewell before going on a tour to duty to the Fiji Islands. Gandhi's loyal friends thought it would be a good idea. It would be a good idea if for Andrews to stay in Champaran and help them. उन्होंने बोला कि एक ब्रिटिशर हमारी साइड पे हो तो बड़ा अच्छा होगा. ठीक है, this is what his loyal friends suggested. And Andrews, because he was a disciple of Gandhiji, he also agreed. He was willing if Gandhi agreed. But Gandhiji was vehemently opposed to it. He was strongly opposed to it. Why? He said, you think that in this unequal fight, underline this is the message, this is the theme of the story. He said that you think in this unequal fight it would be helpful if we have an Englishman on our side. He says it is an unequal fight. How can we win this fight if we have a Britisher on our side? This shows the weakness of your heart. That this means that you cannot rely upon your own selves. This shows that you are weak. The cause is just. We are justified in our cause, and you must rely upon yourselves to win the battle. This is very important line. You underline it. You have to rely upon yourselves. You're not to be dependent on Britishers to win this battle, because it is an unequal fight. You should not seek a prop in Mr. Andrews. Andrews के ऊपर बिल्कुल भी depend नहीं करना. You should not seek help in Mr. Andrews because he happens to be an English man. Okay, he had read our minds correctly, Rajendra Prasad comments, and we had no reply. In this way, he taught us a lesson in self-reliance. Self-reliance, Indian independence, and help to share.
Were all bound together, were all linked together. They did not stand in isolation. This is all about this chapter, student.